Hi Tribe! Welcome to episode 10 of our happiness journey. Thanks so much for joining me. I have Lily joining me today, yay! And I asked her to join us today because I was going to be talking about volunteering, and she just got back from Elephant Nature Park. And so I really wanted her to talk with us this week and elaborate on the subject. But then also, like, when I talk about Hey Tribe, and, you know, I always use that word, it's like, finding people that are on the same wavelength as you, and I couldn't be a more perfect person because when I met Lily, last year it must have been, we sat down at this table, and we were like, she was like, I'm doing a happiness thing on Instagram, a happiness project. I'm like, what? Like, I had written a book on happiness, and I'm doing these channels, and
we just kept talking, and it was like, oh, you too? I was like, me too, and it just like we kept having like one connection after another. It was amazing.
It was amazing. So anyway, so she's part of my tribe. Okay, so grab your journal and let's get started. Okay, so grab your journals, and we're going to do week 10. And then the question of the week is, would or does volunteering make you happy? So take a minute and just free write what you think about that. So if you volunteered in the past, you obviously will write like places you volunteered or how it made you feel. And if you've never volunteered and you've always thought about it and maybe friends have talked about it, you can talk about that. And it's always, I love to hear what you say and what you've written, and you can always comment below or tell me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. So I'm going to write, and then we'll come back and share. Okay, so what'd you get? So what I said was that volunteering has always been so important to me. And I think this was instilled in me from my parents. So when at the age of 13, I went with my parents for 2 weeks to South America, and we did volunteer medical work for the poor down there. And I think at 13, you're so formidable, is that the word? And I think it was so important for me to be volunteering and to be giving back and seeing how important that, you know, part of your life is. And I did that up until the age of about 21, and then I had jobs and I couldn't leave for 2 weeks at a time. But so it's always been important to me. I did AmeriCorps after college where I volunteered. It's kind of like the Peace Corps. So I volunteered for a year, and I tried to find mentors for mentees in California in the San Bernardino area. Woo woo, San Bernardino, Inland Empire. And then when I was in design school, I always felt more balanced if I was volunteering. So I worked downtown. You know, people always think fashion design is like this, like, oh my God, glamorous life. And it wasn't. Like, I worked in like the dirtiest like warehouses and like gross. But then also downtown there was a lot of a big homeless population, and I worked at a soup kitchen there on Saturdays. So whenever I feel like I have balance with volunteering and my fashion stuff, I feel better about things for some reason. So that's why I wanted to do this episode about volunteering, and that's why I invited Lily, because she just got back from Elephant Nature Park, and we'd love to hear how it went, what it's about, and anything, like your feelings. Like, she literally got back yesterday, so thank you for being here today, because I'm sure you're exhausted.
Oh my God, my pleasure.
But so tell us a little bit about why you decided to go and what Elephant Nature Park even is.
Yeah, so Elephant Nature Park is located in Chiang, Thailand, and it was absolutely amazing. And so the reason why I went, and my boyfriend and I came with me as well, was because we wanted to do something where we were giving back to, a community. Like you, volunteering has kind of been instilled with me at a very young age. But I haven't had a chance to do anything like this in a very long time. But a few years ago, I spent a month in Nepal, and I was volunteering there in Kathmandu with women and children.
Nice.
But over the years, my love for animals has grown, and so I knew I wanted to do something with animals this time. And it was actually a documentary on Netflix that really inspired Rez and I to look into Elephant Nature Park. It was about this elephant that had been captured and just like telling her story. And so we had always wanted to go to Thailand. And so again, just did our research, and Elephant Nature Park is consistently at the top of anything you search.
Oh, wow.
And it's amazing. And so for those of you who don't know, Elephant Nature Park is a sanctuary. They have currently over 60 elephants.
60?
60.
Oh,
and these are all elephants that have been rescued, you know, from logging, trekking, the circus. And they also have over 400 dogs, over 50 cats, and they also have water buffaloes, monkeys.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They have one pig. It's hilarious.
A pig.
The
lone pig.
Exactly, the lone pig. But this sanctuary is amazing because although it is initially an elephant sanctuary, Lek, who is the founder, she just has a big heart and never turns an animal away. And so this sanctuary has grown and is home to all sorts of different animals. And when my boyfriend and I went, we actually went as a dog volunteer.
Oh, okay.
We absolutely love dogs. We have a rescue of our own. But the beautiful thing about this sanctuary is that it's all open. And so even though we were there as a dog volunteer, we also had the opportunity to go and, you know, meet these elephants and learn about their stories and also help out because, you know, with over 60 elephants, there's
There's
always
poo.
There's a lot of poo. You know, there's always something to do. But it was amazing, and you know, with Elephant Nature Park, you can really customize your stay. You know, with the elephant program, there's a bit of a different option. But for us, so as a dog volunteer, we chose to go there for 1 week. And it's a max of 8 volunteers at a time, and you stay on site. And the same thing too if you're volunteering with the elephants.
So with there being 8 volunteers, do you feel like you really got to know like the other volunteers? Do you feel like that like was part of your reason why you loved it so much? Or?
Yeah, I mean, my boyfriend and I, we really lucked out with our group. I mean, everyone was around our age, and we just were all kind of on the same wavelength. It was nice that we all connected so quickly. But yeah, so like on our first day there, so for the dog volunteer, it goes from Sunday to Sunday. And so the Sunday we were there, we checked in at the office, and you know, you sign in and everything, and then you get into a van and they drive you, and the sanctuary itself is about an hour drive away from Chiang Mai. And it's absolutely gorgeous, and you really do get to know these other volunteers because there's so much time you're spending with them. And you know, our first day, we kind of just got right into it. So we met with our volunteer coordinator, Sabrina, who is lovely, and she's been with Elephant Nature Park for a few years now. She's originally from Austria.
But you were saying that Lily was talking to me a little bit before we started filming, and she was saying that some of the volunteers actually live there. Like they give up their whole, everything, their Western lives or whatever you want to call it, and they actually live at the sanctuary. And so that is full time. They live there, they don't, you know, go back home, and they're continuing to volunteer and spread the word about this wonderful park. Yeah,
it was inspiring because when we got there, we're meeting all these other long-term volunteers. And when I say long-term, I mean anywhere like they've been there for 6 months to years. These are people that have left their lives. Majority of these long-term volunteers were from Australia, they're from the UK, from all over the world, and they all shared the same story. They had initially come, whether it was to be an elephant volunteer or a dog volunteer, and they absolutely fell in love with the sanctuary.
And you were calling it like their dharma or something, like you find
dharma. It's like their life's purpose, you know. And so they literally just left their lives behind and moved, and so they live on site at the sanctuary. You know, and they're just doing what they can for these animals. I mean,
it's amazing
because there are so many animals there. There's so much that needs to be done.
Right.
And it's just, it's amazing. You know, at nighttime when we're having dinner, you really get to know everyone and you hear their stories. And it kind of puts your faith back in humanity that there are these people who is just here to help and to lend a helping hand. And everyone comes with a different skill set. You know, there was one gentleman, his name was Ryan, and he was building a large pool for each of like the we call them runs at the Elephant Nature Park for the dogs. So like there's about 9 dogs in each run.
Oh, cool.
And it's hard because they're having to group these dogs so they get along and whatnot.
Yeah, like the packs and the hierarchy.
Exactly.
The packs
exactly.
and all of that, yeah.
But yeah, like, so because it gets so hot in Thailand, he's literally with his hands building a pool in each of these runs.
Cool. And he's one of the like long-term.
He's one of the long-term volunteers. And back home he like used to be like an architect of some sorts. And so it's just it's amazing that people are bringing their skills from back home to the sanctuary and just doing what they can. But it's amazing. It's very humbling to be surrounded by like-minded people who love animals and who are just trying to make a difference in, you know, the world. But yeah, it's amazing. I would definitely recommend anyone and everyone to at least go. You could even just do a day tour at Elephant Nature Park. Again, there's so many different options.
And I'll link that below. I'll link Elephant Nature Park below. But so what I'm hearing you saying is like the camaraderie and just giving up that, whether it be a week or, you know, years of your life of service, like how amazing that is to boost your happiness. And I mean, I think that's what we're all trying to struggle for, is finding our place in this world and finding what we should be doing. And it sounds like it sounded to me like you're gonna go back, but then also like that these people have given up their whole lives to do it. So you know, I challenge you this week to find something to do, whether it's like a soup kitchen, you know, booking a trip for a week to Thailand to do Elephant Nature Park, but doing something to give back and seeing kind of what that does for you also. And I know that might sound a little bit selfish, but giving back to people really helps raise your vibration and does make you feel better. So
yeah, I think it's important that at least, you know, once in our lives we challenge ourselves and we leave our comfort zone and really push ourselves to try something different, you know, whether it's volunteering at a soup kitchen or you know, booking that trip and volunteering overseas. You know, you'll be surprised at what you get from lending that extra hand and just giving yourself to a community that needs your help. And I mean, you don't have to travel across the world to do that. You can look right into your own backyard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But you know, it's so easy to get lost in our day-to-day lives, and you know, we are constantly creating excuses that, well, no, I can't do this, and no, I don't have time to do that. But just give yourself, you know, even like just a day to volunteer at, you know, your local soup kitchen or whatever it is,
or picking up the beach, or you know, whatever it is, whatever is local. And there's tons of websites, Indeed.org, and tons of places that you can find things to volunteer. So in honor of her trip to Elephant Nature Park, I thought I'd do a fun contest. So I will link all like what you have to do below, but basically I would love to donate for somebody that you care about or somebody that you feel would really love this. I'm going to donate and sponsor an elephant at Elephant Nature Park, and I'll send whoever you choose a certificate, and you know, they do all these things there, and then a little elephant doll, and so they know what you did. Because I feel like when I was growing up, my dad always would get us these little plushies from the World Wildlife Foundation, and that and my volunteering really instilled in me like a love for animals and a love for volunteering, giving back. So I'm excited to do that with you guys this week. And yeah, thanks for joining me.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Okay, bye tribe. See you next week.
Bye-bye. Yes.
Okay. That's kind of what I'm...
Okay.
Don't slouch. It's fine.
I just feel so tall.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Wait, let me just make sure this light's not on. Okay. My hair is so weird today.
It is not. It's great.
God. Okay. Ready?
Yeah. Wow, now, round, how.
Round, now,
I don't even know what that is.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Rambling.
Yay, it's still...